Welcome back to Hamfest TV live from the Huntsville Hamfest in Huntsville, Alabama. We are in the Gigaparts booth. Gigaparts is an amazing retailer in Huntsville, Alabama, not just for ham radio stuff, but for computers and electronics and any kind of electronic hobby stuff. Of course, they have a big brick and mortar store here as well, but you can also go to gigaparts.com. And we'll be telling you about this hour's coupon code here in just a little. Well, let's just tell you about it now, why don't we? You can start taking advantage of this right now. You want to go to gigaparts.com. The coupon code for this hour is HSV2FG. What does FG stand for? It stands for free gift. You get a free gift with order, be it from September through the end of the year. HSV2FG, that is your coupon code for this hour for gigaparts.com. Go there and make yourself happy. Our guest right now is Dennis Motschenbacher, K7BV. Dennis is with Yaesu. You've been with Yaesu for a while, but people may know that name as well from the ARRL. So you were with the league for a number of years, weren't you? We're giving away prizes, so we're competing with the PA. But
well, that's much more important, giving away those prizes, than hearing my life history.
Well,
that's for sure.
Depends on whether or not they call my call sign. Then it becomes very important.
Should I keep talking, or is that okay?
Yeah.
I own some fire protection businesses. Was my career for a long, long time. Of course, I've been a ham since I was 12. In 1962, I got my license. And but I've always been very, very active in amateur radio, but I wanted to make money.
Yeah.
And making money to me looked like I needed to go someplace else to do it and just enjoy the hobby on the side. So anyway, when I sold my companies in 2006, there was an opportunity to go to the ARRL because I had been the editor of the National Contest Journal for 5 years, so I knew the crew there. And they were talking about developing a new sales and marketing manager, somebody to pull all of the money-making ventures that go on in the ARRL, put them under one control so that things could be a little more organized so that we could properly bring in enough funds to run the ARRL. So that was my job. And I had a great time. Working there. It was like going to Mecca.
How long were you with the league?
I was with them 4.5 years.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be a lot longer than that, but then this call came from Yaesu, and then I went over to the dark side. Right.
And Yaesu has been a corporate sponsor of the Newsline Young Ham of the Year Award, I think, since the beginning. And so that's 30 years now.
Yeah, I loved the idea when I came that I could continue Yaesu's participation. Such a great program.
Yeah, well, that's the future of our hobby. We're not getting any younger. No. Well, mine too. It's turning gray. It's not turning loose yet. I'll be 55 this year. So you're, I think, 2 years older than me, I think.
I'm 67 on a good day. So.
Okay, well, today's a good day.
Yes.
Today's any day you're upright and drawing breath is a good day. So I'm glad you're here. So, Yaesu has been a part of the Young Ham of the Year since the beginning. And literally, we could not do it without our corporate sponsors. Yaesu is one. CQ Magazine is another one. They've been with almost as long, not quite, but almost as long. And we've picked up a few more. Radio Waves Antennas, where Emmett will be sitting in this chair a little bit later on today. He came to me a couple of years ago and said, "Hey, I want to do something with the Young Ham of the Year Award. How can I help?" And I said, "Well, Yaesu generally gives them a radio. An FT-817 has been the radio the last few years. I'm assuming that will continue this year."
That is the plan again. It's the perfect radio for the Young Ham of the Year.
It really is. And Joe Eisenberg, K0NEB, who is the kit editor for CQ Magazine, he and I we're rooming together, splitting a hotel room this year. And we were talking about that just last night. We had dinner with Bob Heil, which anytime you have dinner with K9EID, class is in session. And it's not just about ham radio. It's about rock and roll and the Eagles. And I could do 2 hours just on dinner last night. But anyway. But the 817 is the perfect radio for someone who is going off to college because It's very small. It's perfect dorm size. It is HF through 440, so they're able to get on the local repeaters. They're able to put a buddy pole up, or Emmett said, okay, great, I will design an antenna for this radio, a dipole. It'll fit in basically in a pencil size pencil pack. And it's no tuner required for most bands, and you can get on and work the world on 5 watts. And it's all mode. It's DC to daylight, HF through 440, 160 through 440. Great for digital modes.
Yes.
Really good for digital modes. And in fact, we're coming up on the 10th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, the 29th.
Yeah.
Which 10 years ago.
There. Yeah, that was big.
10 years ago, I came to the Huntsville Hamfest, and then the next weekend, we were evacuating. Because I live in New Orleans, and now in Mississippi because of Katrina. But the 817 is the radio that I took with me when I evacuated. And I would spent 2 weeks in a hotel room in North Little Rock, and I would go across the street, and I had a piece of wire I could throw up in the tree, or I had the miracle antenna, you know, that thing. And I maybe could not talk back to New Orleans every day, but I could listen, and I could hear what was going on. And that is just, if you're making a Go kit, you need to get a Yaesu FT-817. I'm telling you, if you're into any type of portable operations, hilltopping, islands on the air, the summits on the air,
terrific, yes.
It's a great radio. And again, for the young ham of the year who is going to college, that's the perfect dorm radio. It really is.
You know, I'm a DXer also, and I'm always astounded when I'm in a DX contest where power is exchanged. The number of people I work all over the world that, because I've got some big antennas, I mean, I hear these guys and gals really easily, and they're only running 5 watts. I'm astounded what can be done with 5 watts. I mean, I'm kind of a QRO kind of guy myself, but it is amazing to see what can be accomplished with that 817. You know, and it's been around so long. Not to the extent that the technology is no longer valid.
Right.
But in a radio like this, it's just amazing that this thing is still, you know, has a place in the market like it does.
When did it come out? Around 2000, I think, wasn't it?
I was trying to think. It was before I was with Yaesu, back in the Chip Mordelli days, and you know, he championed that radio himself, and really made sure the world knew it was out there.
I'll tell you a funny story about the 817. Back when before the old hotel was torn down, it used to be the Huntsville Hilton, and then later on was a Holiday Inn Express, I think. Anyway, Joe Eisenberg, K0NEB, back to Joe. He had just gotten his 817, and he brought it with him, and he had a little extendable antenna that you plugged into the back of the radio. It might have been that miracle antenna, the little screwdriver type antenna. But we're sitting out by the pool, and he's got this thing, and it's on battery power, and we're hearing double hop 6-meter skip from California, and it was wide open. And to be sitting out there by the pool at this hotel listening to double and triple hop skip on 6 on this little bitty radio, and trying to get back to them, and I mean, we're in this big steel and concrete canyon. We're probably not going to get 5 watt signal out on 6 with a compromised antenna. But again, stranger things have happened, and that's the beauty that's why they call 6 the magic band. We'll continue our conversation with K7BB in just a sec. We'll be back in a minute. You are watching Hamfest TV. And welcome back to Hamfest TV live from Gigaparts at the Huntsville, Alabama Hamfest. They call this the friendliest Hamfest in the world, and it really is. It's I've been coming here for 20 years, ever since I was first got licensed in '95, and Bill Pasternak, our good friend, conned me into coming down here. So let me tell you about the hourly coupon code for this hour from Gigaparts. That is HSV. HSV, easy to remember for Huntsville, HSV, the number 2, FG. 2 for the second hour, FG for free gift. HSV 2FG, free gift with order from gigaparts.com, September through the end of the year. So get online and find something cool for yourself. HSV 2FG is this hour's coupon code from Gigaparts. Thank them for doing this. Now,
we're not eligible.
No.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
Can we fix that?
We'll try.
No.
We'll do. I know people.
I
know people.
I know somebody from Yaesu. We'll see what we can do. I
know people. All right, so getting back to the FT-817 just for a second, and I mentioned that I took it with me to when we evacuated for Katrina.
Yeah.
And that was a lifeline for me, not, again, listening back to what was going on in New Orleans, and just the fact that I could get on the local repeaters there in North Little Rock with that radio, and it was just, oh my God. But
so you had to evacuate. You were one of the ones that had to evacuate.
Oh yeah, we did. We were lucky. We had 4.5 feet of water in our house.
Oh man.
Now, both of my brothers-in-law had 14 to 15 feet of water, and the only reason that we didn't have as much in our place is we live close to the levee.
Right.
Of course, New Orleans is a big bowl. You have the high ground is near the water. Oddly enough, you have for Lake Pontchartrain here, and then the Mississippi River here, and everything else is basically the average is 5 to 10 feet below sea level. So we live basically, I don't know, a quarter of a mile from the levee, Mississippi River. So we only had 4 feet of water. But the thing, back to the 817 is evacuating, and that radio was a lifeline because we spent 2 weeks in a hotel in North Little Rock, and our house flooded twice. Because first it was Hurricane Katrina, and then it was Rita, and it was literally 30 days before we were even allowed back where we were. But it's funny talking about this now because the 29th of August is the 10th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, so we're coming up on it.
It is. Wow.
I remember I came to the Huntsville Hamfest, and then the very next weekend I was evacuating. And
it brings back memory.
The city is back. New Orleans is back. New Orleans is not still underwater. There are more restaurants open now than there were pre-Katrina. The French Quarter was not touched. So, I want to do a little Chamber of Commerce moment. Come to New Orleans. It's a great place. Come for Mardi Gras. Of course, New Orleans is way more than just Mardi Gras, but one of the best museums in the world is in New Orleans, and it's walking distance from my office downtown, and that is the World War II Museum. It used to be called the D-Day Museum, but now it encompasses so much more than that. But just come to New Orleans and come spend your time.
Did you get paid extra for that?
No.
Did you get paid extra for that?
Did we get paid at all?
Oh, you didn't get paid? Oh.
Oh, that's done.
Okay, sorry.
It's a labor of love. Okay, so let's talk about we talked about the 817. We got new stuff at Yaesu. We got System Fusion. Tell me about System Fusion.
System Fusion.
I probably should move the ICOM radio. I'll put that.
He didn't get paid very much for this, did he?
I can be bought. We all have our price.
Right.
Mine's low.
System Fusion came at an interesting time for me because I had cancer, and it was a rough go, and I wasn't sure I was going to make it.
Yeah.
And when I did, I said, maybe it's time to retire. And then the boss called me in one day, the owner of the company, and said, this is what he's going to do. And he called it System Fusion. And he started talking about it, and I got so excited that I just tabled the retirement plans. I said, I want to be around for this. This is going to be really something. And what I liked about it was the fact that we were going to get in and offer digital modes, but we were going to do it in a way that was friendly, where friends didn't have to lose friends just because one chose to go digital and the other one decided, no, I don't want to go digital. I'm just perfectly happy with FM analog. And it allowed them to coexist on the same repeater. And that was like the most pleasant thing I'd heard in a long time, that old-timers like me that are a little slower getting into stuff could still coexist on the same repeater with the other people who were more responsive to new technology. It was fantastic. So they came out with a beta test repeater, and we got 200 of them, and I got to pick the people to try it, and I tried to spread it all over the United States. And from that, we gained a whole bunch of information about what we needed to do, what people wanted us to do, changes to make, and we came out then with our final our actual production
right.
model, which was the DR1X that's out there today. Of course, then when you go, if you got a repeater, if you don't have product, handhelds, and we actually introduced our digital products first, which was the FTM, the FT1DR handheld, and then we came out with a very, very popular radio, the FTM 400 mobile, and this radio just skyrocketed, and there wasn't even any repeaters at that time,
right?
And we still to this day can just barely keep up with the demand on that radio. It's an outstanding radio, whether you use digital or not. So it's been all very, very exciting. The company continues to introduce new products. We just recently introduced the FTM 100, which is a less expensive version of a mobile,
right?
A dual band, and we went up on the handheld side, and we came out with the FT2DR, which is a fabulous radio with a touch screen, very, very innovative.
On a handheld, touchscreen on a handheld. That is slick. And I got to tell you, the displays on these radios are full color displays, the ones that I've seen, and they're brilliant.
It is. It's so exciting to
see. My eyes.
Yaesu's colors brought to VHF.
My eyes aren't getting any better. We got to have the cheaters when I want to read something for the most part.
Not me.
Oh, no, of course not. No, you're still a very young man, Dennis. Very young man. But yeah, I think I'm not sure. I think there is a System Fusion system. Say that fast 3 times. I think we have System Fusion in New Orleans now. I've heard rumors.
Right.
And so
I would say that is a good rumor.
I need to get into this. I need to get a System Fusion radio. So I've got the D-Star. I like the D-Star. D-Star's fun. But, I want to do everything. I want to learn about everything.
Yes.
So that's something that I definitely want to learn about. All right, so what else besides System Fusion? Yaesu has been a DXer's dream radio forever. I mean, You're a DXer. Chip Margelli, the guy that was at Yaesu before you, K7JA, huge DXer.
Yes.
I mean, that's what you guys are known for. What, as far as big stuff, big DX stuff, what kind of stuff can you tell us about Yaesu? What's going on with Yaesu with that?
Well, like you say, HF, the big box, the big knob, the big VFO.
Love the big knob.
There's always been.
Love the big knob.
What we're recognized for. But you have to keep some technology going behind it.
Right.
And we've been keeping up. We came out with the 5000 a number of years ago, and that radio is still extremely strong. The 5000 is our 200-watt HF radio, covers all the HF bands, has easily some of the best selectivity numbers that any radio that's ever been made. Rob Sherwood likes to keep it right near the top of his list at all times, and that's very important to us. ARRL liked it, but it was a rather expensive radio because it was a two independent receivers in it. That obviously drove the price up.
Yeah.
And as popular as it was, we knew that there had to be a big market out there for that same kind of performance, but in a single receiver radio. So we did come out with the 3000. And that has been a total success, to say the least.
Having dual receivers, that will give a serious operator, or even a casual operator, huge flexibility.
Yes.
Talk about what two receivers means, two separate independent receivers means versus dual VFOs.
Well, what it means, usually in a dual VFO scenario, you're talking about having a second VFO in the band that you're on. It's called a sub VFO, but with two independent receivers, these are virtually two totally independent receivers. Now, I'm a 6 meter fanatic, so I like to leave 6 meters on all the time. So I always have one of my two receivers of my 5000 sitting on 50110, the international DX calling frequency. In the meantime, the second receiver, I'm tuning around looking for DX on the HF bands. And I really like that. I mean, other uses when you're trying to work a pileup that's got a big split on it are great. In contesting, it's very, very useful for hunting for multipliers while you're running on another band.
Yeah.
But like I say, there's a price to pay for that for those who like it. And that's why I say I was really happy when they came out with the 3000, so that people who didn't want that could do it. But further on, we ultimately came out with the FTDX 1200, which was designed to fit a bit more casual market in amateur radio, and that price point has been extremely popular. And our newest edition, it finally arrived. Everybody's been waiting for Yaesu to come back with a HF and VHF UHF radio, maybe similar to the 847, maybe similar to the 897. So we took the best of both of those worlds and came up with the FT-991 now, which has a color display on it as well. And this radio has just hit the market, and we can't, at this point, I can't build them fast enough.
Yeah.
And it's just capturing that market big time.
I can't wait to go hang out with you at the booth and see all this cool candy that I'm so looking forward to that. So
but since you're not getting paid, are you going to have enough money to buy any?
No. Maybe.
So this is going to be a freebie thing, right?
I'm not asking for nothing.
I can see it coming. I know it's coming.
Hey, I work in radio. You know what they say. If it's for free, it's for me.
Okay, fine.
First serious amateur radio I bought. The first amateur radio I ever bought when I was studying for my test was a Radio Shack HTX 202. Got my tech. Went to a Hamfest. I bought a Yaesu FT-530. I still have that radio.
Yeah.
Now, the ribbon cable inside, I have opened it up, and so I've cracked the ribbon cable, so it doesn't necessarily work as good as it should. And I know those parts are long gone for that. So I'm hoping to maybe find one of our previous young hams of the year, as a matter of fact, told me that he went to a Hamfest and he found a 530 in the flea market. He paid like $8 or something for it, and it works fine.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for that because I love that radio. That's a great, if you want to work satellite radio, you need a true dual band radio, and that FT530 from 20 years ago is a great radio for that.
You know, another one that's still active and all over the world. I see them everywhere I go. I travel a lot on the expeditions. The FT101.
Yeah.
They're just thousands and thousands of them still out there. It's just unbelievable.
It's
amazing.
a stalwart. It's a stalwart radio. We are going to come back here in just a sec. Let me tell you about the this hour's Gigaparts coupon code, and that is HSV2FG. That will give you free gift with order from the month of September through the end of the year here, 2015. The coupon code HSV2FG. When we come back, we have, I just noticed a special person who walked into our audience, and we're going to talk to this year's Amateur Radio Newsline Young Ham of the Year winner. She's here. We're going to introduce you to her, and I cannot wait, and we will do that when we come back here from Hamfest TV.